So this is credit cards and checks and electronic funds transfers and things like this. This was it's 50 pages worth of stuff. Kind of a lot of obvious stuff in this one. Let's check it out. So check fraud. A lot of things that can be done. Check washing is exactly what it sounds like. You are altering things that are printed on the check, maybe the payee or the amount, but not altering the signature or any of that kind of thing. A paper hanger is, it's probably something you see in an old movie. Oh, it's a paper hanger. That's how they talk in old movies. So that's a person who passes a phony check expert, right? A stop payment scheme, something that you probably would know what that is. You buy an item with a check and then stop the payment on it. And to double up, you could sell it for a profit. So not only do you get it for free, you sell it and make money, or you can just keep it, or you could return it for a refund. That's even worse, right? So you buy it, you stop payment, so you didn't really buy it, then you give it back to them for money. So they're essentially paying you for nothing, right? Pretty clever. Check kiting, I think we're familiar with that term from other classes. It's something that comes up a lot. So you're just kind of double counting across books. You got a deposit transfer, you counted in the bank you deposited it from, and you counted in the bank you deposited it to. So you briefly double count it. So it'd be something you might do on a financial statement date or something. All right. Check fraud is kind of hard to catch and prosecute. So the strategy, and this is the point they would like to make, is to prevent it. Once it happens, it's kind of too late. So a good strategy is to keep it from happening in the first place. Red flags. And I like this red flag. Think about this. It just kind of, there's sometimes some good little life lessons here. If somebody's trying to hurry you or something like that, that's kind of a red flag. What are they up to? Why are they trying to push me so much on this? What's the deal? And the same goes for them trying to flatter you. I think we would be more wise to that. It's like, all right, they're being awfully nice. What are they up to? But if they're in there, it's like, all right, we got to get this done. I got to go do this, and I got to be somewhere, and I'm late. Oh no, I'm so late. That kind of thing. And you'd be like, oh, okay, let's get it done. Be careful with that kind of thing. Or if they're trying to confuse you or distract you or something. If they're in peak hours trying to frustrate you when you're already frustrated. And people do this, like, oh, just do this for me. I used to wait tables, and they're like, well, I know Jerry. Jerry was the owner. I'm like, okay, I know Jerry too, and he wouldn't want you doing this. So they're always looking for some kind of exception to the rules because they know somebody or they're special in some way. So these are red flags for this type of thing, and for a lot of things, really, right? Credit card fraud, another one that's hard to catch and prosecute. So the best strategy is to take steps to prevent it. Smart cards is the term they give for those chips that we all had to get used to using. So those things are hard to replicate, so they're hard to counterfeit. And evidently they have some kind of built-in software that'll shut them down if somebody starts trying to tamper with them. I didn't know that. So I don't know the ins and outs of that, but all I knew is, okay, these are better for some reason. I never bothered to look into it. So there's some reasons why. And then I'm sure y'all noticed the little holograms that are on your credit card. Yeah, they're still on the chip ones too. So those are hard to counterfeit. The little hologram that's right here. Y'all are all looking at your holograms, right? Those are hard to counterfeit. No, that's the strip. The hologram is that right there. Oh yeah, your strip has a hologram on it. I've never seen that before. That's why I was like, yeah. So yeah, those are hard to replicate.
It looks like, I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking shiny.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not
Yeah. So
It looks like planets.
yeah. So yeah, those are really hard to counterfeit. So back in the, so I'm you're checking every card for holograms.
Does the debit card have it?
They should, yeah.
It's on
Debit cards, credit cards, yeah.
I think
Is this the little thing on the debit card? I bet all these people are on.
Yeah, they're like, all right, let's get on with it. Yeah, my debit card has a hologram.
Is it the eagle?
It's the eagle. Yeah, the Visa one has the eagle on it.
Okay.
MasterCard has a,
It just says debit and it has a little like MasterCard.
yeah, it's a little MasterCard symbol. Mine has a baseball on it because mine is a St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Oh, let me see.
I got a free T-shirt for it in 1998 when yeah. The T-shirt's long gone, but I still have the credit card. I was at a game. They were like, free T-shirts? All right. Sign me up. I had a $2,000 limit on that thing. That was my first credit card. I was so proud. Yep. Still using it.
That's a pretty big limit for your first credit card.
Yeah. That's
When I first signed up, I think mine was like $400. What am I gonna do with that?
I was waiting tables at the time, and I was making like 23 grand a year. So I'm like, all right, 23 grand a year. So they're like, all right, $2,000.
My first credit card was $1,000 and it still hadn't gone up. But my other credit card, one time I got on there to pay my bill and I noticed
Mhm.
it just went up.
Huh. You can call them and tell them to raise it.
Yeah, I
Hey,
tried calling, because I got mine right before I went to New York and I tried to get them to raise it. And they said you have to be a customer for 3 months before they will let you.
Oh, okay.
From,
You can also call them and ask them to lower your interest rate, and they'll do it. I've done that. I said, hey, this interest rate's been the same for a while. What can you lower that to? Well, let me check into that, sir. We can lower that. My interest rate on my credit card is 6%. 6.99, so it's 7%. Yep. Just because I asked. Okay, so check fraud, credit card fraud. And there's more obviously in the book than what we're talking about, but there's so many, we know credit cards, we know all this stuff. It's just obvious stuff. Electronic funds transfer, again, we know what that is. They do make a point that credit card transaction is not an electronic fund transaction because you're not transferring funds with the swipe of that credit card. So a debit card would be, right? So back up. It's a transfer of funds other than a check or some kind of paper thing. You know, it's an electronic thing, obviously, that's initiated through, and this is a way too long definition, but I didn't know how to narrow it down and make it still okay. But it's initiated through some kind of electronic terminal, telephone, computer, magnetic tape, anything like that. And it, you know, it causes a debit or a credit to your account. Credit card transaction doesn't fit that category because it does not directly hit your account right then. Debit card does. It is. Credit card is not. So I could see a test question on that. Person-to-person payment system like PayPal, y'all probably use that, right? That's what that is. So it's where individuals can pay each other for goods and services. So if you buy anything on eBay, you are using a person-to-person payment system. Okay. Account takeover is what it says it is, but it could be taking over somebody's credit card or bank account, or it could be getting into their Amazon account. You know, somebody gets into your Amazon account, all your stuff's stored in there. They can just go buying something, go into your settings, change your information, to their address, and change the password and lock you out. And you know, that would be an account takeover. You could do it with any of those types of things. They even have a
Those
look.
things that Amazon stores your information, you have to give them approval to.
All I do is go in there on my phone, click a button, order, hit pay, and it's done. Yeah. If somebody got into my phone, they could buy things on Amazon all day long. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My boyfriend's cards on there and my mom got on there the other day. Still use his card.
They could get into my eBay just like that and start bidding on mess. And they could go on Amazon. They couldn't get into my bank account, and they couldn't get into my credit card account. Yeah, everything's automatically logged in on Amazon and eBay. Oh yeah, my phone's protected.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they found a way into that, then
Well, like even if passwords are saved, it won't let me use it unless
yeah,
yeah.
hmm So yeah, the phones are getting more and more protected. Mine's still the old finger thumbprint thing. Of course, there's still the 6-digit code, which most people do 1111111. I figure.
That is kind of creepy when you think about it. What if someone is dropping his phone?
Did you say what if their hand gets chopped off?
Yeah.
Then they can't get into their phone. You could
If you got
you
more
can punch in
problems
the
to worry about,
code.
your hands chopped off.
Yeah.
I watched too many
Oh, you're saying what if somebody chopped your thumb off and used your thumb? Oh, I'm with you. I thought you were worried about if your own hand got chopped off. Now you can't get in your phone.
I'm thinking about like on up the paper information on your phone and they ask you if you put in.
Oh yeah, I've seen movies and TV shows where they did that. Yeah. Or did y'all see Total Recall? Arnold Schwarzenegger, not the new one, but I think he pulled somebody's eyeball out and did the eyeball scanner.
Oh yeah, it's like the movie.
Yes.
That's pretty See, I saw a man one time. He had a glass eye. He took it out and like put it in his mouth.
Oh.
And, like stuck his tongue out in his eyeball, and then he took it and popped it back in.
No.
Oh.
Oh man, I love this class.
I'm on Amazon checking, tracking my package.
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
I just tried my credit card bill. I think this is shit all.
They even have a little section. I thought this was worth mentioning. They call it loyalty fraud, and that is getting into somebody's loyalty points, loyalty program, and converting those things. And I think they make mention of that because it's not really, there's really not so much fraud prevention mechanisms in there, and you know how often you monitor your credit card points, and it's easy to convert to cash just like that, or even transfer it somewhere else. And you know, whatever kind of loyalty points and things you have. All right, that's all I had with that one. Any questions, comments? See if I made any notes about potential test questions that we didn't mention. I don't think so. I think we covered it. Of course, again, red flags are always questions about things, and ways to prevent things is always good questions too. You know, what would be a good way to prevent credit card fraud? What do we call it? Smart card. Yeah, I already forgot the term. Doesn't sound right. Smart cards would be a way to prevent it. Holograms would be a way to prevent it. You know, that might be a type of test question. All right. One more of these, and then that is it. Okay. Insurance fraud. All right. I did get a kind of a kick out of reading some of this stuff too. It's short, 23 pages. You know, anytime something's in manageable chunks, it's easy to do. So there's a lot of ways to abuse the whole insurance process. You know, whether you are an agent or someone who is insured, you know, whatever position you're in, you can always use it to your advantage. So there's premium theft. All right, so this is the agent doing this. So I'm an agent, you pay me, I take the money, but I don't extend coverage to you yet. I'm kind of rolling the dice on this that something doesn't happen, but I can kind of ride that out a little while and keep collecting premiums and pocketing it without giving you actual coverage from the company. You know, just kind of hiding the fact that you're a customer so far. So that'd be something an agent can do. Fictitious payees. So again, you got the agent doing all these on this slide. So the agent changes beneficiary on the record to a fictitious person. Fictitious death claim. The agent obtains a fake death certificate and requests a claim check be issued. So, you know, it takes a lot to dream some of this up, but then when you see it, it's like, okay, well, Kind of simple. Fictitious policies. So this is an agent again, still wanting to do something. Here they're wanting to kind of make themselves look better in their company, so they create all these fictitious policies to make it show that they're doing a lot of work, right? Tombstone policies, they have been called, because agents would, they said, you know, a little history here, what they would do is copy names from tombstones to write new fictitious policies, like little history tidbits like that. Not a testable thing, I'm sure, but I thought it was fun to put on there. These next ones would be really good testable things, and somewhat descriptive of what's going on if you think about it. Sliding. So sliding, you think about it, you slide it in there, kind of sneaky. So here you're including additional coverage in an insurance policy without letting them know, and you hide the extra charges in the total. You slide something in there without them knowing. Sliding. Twisting. You're replacing existing policies for new ones. Usually kind of put some pressure on them here, high pressure technique. So you're kind of twisting things a little bit in your favor to their detriment, right? Churning's a word we've seen before. I think we saw it in the context of securities being sold, but churning could apply here as well. So you're churning out things. You're telling customers they can buy additional stuff, but you're lying to them, right? So you're falsely telling them they can buy additional insurance for no cost by using built-up value in their current policy. So trying to churn out things. So these are good terms that describe kind of what's going on. Vehicle insurance schemes. Ditching. It is what it says it is, right? You're getting rid of a vehicle, hiding it in the lake, something like that, and collecting on the insurance policy. Say it was stolen, destroy the vehicle or strip it for parts, submerge it, whatever. That's called ditching. Past posting. So here you don't have insurance, but you get in a wreck. So you get insurance, and then you wait for a while, and then you say, oh, I had a wreck. Right, that's called past posting.
Yeah.
You remember what? You remember doing that?
Question or reading about it the other night.
Oh, okay. It's like, yeah, I remember doing that.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Staged accident. So you can create your own accident to collect money, right? Side swipe. Okay, these things right here make me mad. And I know people that this has happened to. I know a couple of people that these types of things have happened to. And it makes you scared to be out on the road. But it's good to know, be careful. Watch out for things. So people will be out to get you sometimes. There's a little scheme called the side swipe. So there's a busy intersection. So you just go in circles. You make the same turn over and over and over. And if you see somebody crossing your lane, you hit them. All right? You're creating these little scenarios where you can hit somebody and it's their fault, right? I know somebody this has happened to. And they got stuck. There's nothing they could do. Yeah. Don't ever let somebody wave you on. It's just a good rule. And don't wave other people on too. They call it the drive down. I don't know about that term. That was kind of a tough one to remember. I don't see that as a test question really, but it could be. You wave a driver on, then hit them. Jerky, right? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and pull out, and then they pull out in front of you. You hit them. Oh, they pulled out in front of me.
I've seen where people, they'll be stopped, and they'll leave it open.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you can't see past it, so they'll wave them on,
Yep.
and then they'll get T-boned because they didn't see.
Didn't see the, yeah, that's what I was saying. Don't, this is outside of the fraud part of it. It's not a good idea to wave people on because you don't know how well they're paying attention. I've seen that happen too. Somebody waved them on, and there was a whole lane of traffic they would have to cross that would have got them hit. Yeah.
They didn't get hit.
Yeah.
I hate when you're like there and you're waiting and somebody pulls up beside you. 'Cause they might be going the other way. I'm like, if I can't pull out, you're not going to pull out. Now I can't pull out, so I can't see that way.
Yeah. It's just not a good idea to wave people on
Mhm.
or get waved on. And it can be awkward when you're just sitting there at a light and there's somebody wanting to pull out and they're like, yeah, I know you want me to let you out, but I'm not going
If
to.
they're pulling out, like trying to get in front of me, if
Uh-huh.
I'm having a good day, I let them out. But if they're trying to cross traffic, I just pull straight up. I'm like, I know
Yeah.
you're not gonna cross it now, and you can't cross it until we go anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so don't even try.
Yep. The swoop and squat. All right, this takes some engineering here, but so you got the victim. They are passed by two cars. All right, so you got the car in front forces the second, of course, these two cars are in it together, forces the second car to stop and forces you, the victim, to rear end them. And then, they speed away. You rear end somebody, you're in trouble. You know the drill, right? And usually the one that's being rear-ended is going to have a whole bunch of people in there saying, oh, my neck, you know. So they've got this whole thing engineered up. You know, these dash cams are becoming more and more popular. It's probably a good idea to have those things, you know. Y'all ever watch Ridiculousness? You know, they'll have little segments every now and then. I remember seeing one where these dash cams caught people trying to do stuff. Like this one guy pulled up and there's a guy in the road, a human being in the road trying to get hit. The guy stopped way in front of him. The guy just took a leap into the hood. Like, oh, you know, like these people. But yeah, I've heard tons of stories about these things happening. So be aware. Maybe a dash cam's not a bad idea. You saw that episode. Yes, I love Ridiculousness. It's so great. All right, so yeah, we kind of lost our faith in humanity on this slide a little bit, but yeah, just be aware. It's a shame. All right, and then finally, we got property schemes. Again, we're still on insurance, by the way, so I guess I should have titled that a little better. Insurance on properties, what we're talking about. So, you know, you had a fire, you inflate. You know, I had all this stuff in there that burned up that you didn't really have. Or just like, hey, somebody broke into my house and stole some stuff when none of that actually happened. You know, just making stuff up. And then they have something they call paper boats, you know, claims filed for a boat that sank but never actually existed. And they made note in there that it's not difficult to register a boat based on a bill of sale. It's difficult to prove that a boat sank. So, you know, just think a boat in the ocean, and it's going to be hard for them to say exactly where it sank. So,
And how did you survive that?
yeah, exactly. That was our last section, wasn't it?